Hi, this is Outcome Expert. Today we're here to talk to Turning Point. They are a great organization in Union County, and I have their executive director, Jessie Lindberg, here with me. Jessie, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I would love to get started, Jessie, about talking just a little bit about what you guys do. I know that you work with domestic violence in our area, but I know you do so much more. And I had started thinking about you guys when looking for opportunities to give during the pandemic. And what I had done was talk to Art Box Ceramics, and we put together some art kits for children after I talked to your group, as well as 5 snacks for the day. And I really wanted to talk to you about what you guys do, how we can get others in the community involved. So I look forward to really exploring options and ideas and hearing all about what you guys have planned for the fall as well.
Thank you. Well, yeah, so Turning Point is the only victim services agency in Union County. We have 3 main programs. We have a 42-bed domestic violence shelter. We have our Treehouse Children's Advocacy Center, which is a facility that serves children who are suspected to have been abused. And so we provide forensic interviews, medical exams, support groups, counseling for those families. We also have our Sexual Assault Resource Center. So what the SARC does is provide 24-hour response for survivors of sexual assault. We will either meet people at the hospital if they're there to get an examination or a sexual assault kit. And then we provide everything subsequent to that, counseling, support groups, and that type of thing. We also do a lot of community education and outreach. So we do programs in our schools talking to teenagers about healthy relationships and teen dating violence. We do a program for little ones in elementary school about body awareness, body safety, and kind of really empowering them to keep themselves safe. And then we do general community education on domestic violence and sexual assault, and then also how people can recognize suspected abuse and respond appropriately, because that's really, really important for people to not just be bystanders, but really see that these issues are affecting everybody around them, their neighbors, their friends, and being willing to respond and help.
I think it's incredible that you provide the resources that you do, and really also helping people identify issues and finding ways to address and deal with them, because oftentimes it's hard to figure out how to deal with the situation or how to help someone. And so your resource and the tools that you have sound like they're really helping our community, and I've heard a lot of great things about it.
Thank you. Thank you. We also, I want to mention our 3 stores. We have 3 second chance stores. So we have 2 in Monroe. One is a boutique with furniture and home decor and clothing. And then the other one is a furniture store. And then we have another one in Waxhaw. And those stores are obviously really amazing stores that provide not just clothing and items to the public, but also to our clients. So when they come to us seeking shelter, we're able to provide them whatever they need. When they move out into a home of their own, we're able to provide what they need. And those stores are also a really critical revenue stream for our agency. So they provide about 34% of our operating revenue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I've also donated to the store as I've moved or made adjustments, or I've had clients who are looking for places to donate items that they're not going to move with them to their next location that are in great shape. And so I'm glad to hear that you guys are using that as a revenue piece. And I hope that we'll find more people in the area that have things that they want to donate or they want to give back. So we'll post here after our live stream places that they can go to donate and the phone calls that they can make to make those connections.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, they're very, very important to us. And it kind of gives us a reliable revenue stream that we can control a little bit more than, grants and, and that type of thing. It's something that we have control over, but it's also, it's providing a service to the community and providing goods at a really good price for our neighbors. So
that's wonderful. Tell me a little bit about what you're seeing right now with the pandemic and the timing of just calls that you're getting and how your outreach is helping, as I'm sure more and more staying at home. Pandemic has really affected a lot of people in our community that had an outsource or a place to go.
Yeah, so isolation and economic stress and anxiety, those are really kind of critical factors in abuse and violence in the home. And so obviously those are very heightened during the pandemic. Survivors of abuse right now are in a position where they're at home with their abuser, and so they're not even able to call a crisis line, right? Because their abuser's in the room next door. Children have lost that avenue for disclosure through school. They don't have, they're not in school with their teachers and their counselors and their coaches to be able to disclose abuse. And so it's kind of really the perfect storm in our movement. And I actually just read an article saying that in the first 2 quarters of this year, incidents, or I guess reports of child abuse, were down by 40,000 since last year, or during the same time last year. And that is because children didn't have anywhere to go to disclose that abuse. They typically will tell a teacher or a counselor, and they weren't able to do that. And so we're kind of waiting for that, that onslaught of cases and reports now that kids are at least going back to school one day. But, and then also from a domestic violence standpoint, people are scared to come to any type of congregated setting because they're scared to catch the virus. And even abusers are using that as a tactic to keep them home and to control them, just saying, if you leave, you're going to catch the virus. And so it really is, like I said, the perfect storm for violence and abuse. And our numbers were lower during the real height of the shutdown, and now we're starting to see them increase again as people are able to report abuse and violence. So it's been really, really scary. And then from a safety standpoint here at the shelter and at the treehouse, we are every day, implementing, very, very strict cleaning protocols and sanitization protocols, masks, all of that stuff to keep our clients safe. And so we've been able to adapt because we don't have a choice. Our work is too important, and we were never, going to shut down, obviously. So we just adapted, and knock on wood, we've kept everybody safe so far, but we know how vital our services are really now more than ever. So we're just going to keep going.
That definitely sounds like a win for those in the community and those that need your help. I hope somebody that's listening today will hear about what you do and how safe you're keeping the environment. What are some things that we can do in the community to help you as you do have more people in need coming in, and as you have your client base there today? What can we do to help? I know a lot of times coming in is not something that we can do as much anymore because of the virus and making sure that you're being as safe as possible. But I'm sure there are other things out there that we can do to assist you. Tell us a little bit about what we in the community can do.
Well, we have an ongoing wish list that has items on it that are, things that we will always need in a shelter full of people. So paper products, paper towels, plastic utensils, plates, napkins, all of that type of thing. We also like to create welcome bags for our clients when they come to us, because so often, they're literally coming, with nothing. And so we love to have like lotions in there for them. So that toiletry type of items those are really important to us as well. We always need snacks. We have shelter full of children, and then at the treehouse, sometimes kids can be at the treehouse for up to 4 hours. And so we want to make sure that we keep them fed and happy. So we always need snacks for the treehouse as well. And then we always need volunteers as well. To your point, we don't have as many volunteers here at the shelter right now, just because we are trying to keep everybody safe. But our 3 stores get a lot of donations. Our community is extraordinarily generous. And so it takes a lot of manpower to go through those donations and sort through them and clean them. We steam every article of clothing before it goes out. So we always need volunteers at the stores. I can't stress that enough. So if anybody wants to come for 2 hours, we will take it. And it's all hands on deck at those stores for sure.
That is definitely great to know. I did not realize you could volunteer in the stores, and I hope those out have heard about that. I was talking to your team, and they were telling me a little bit about a golf tournament you have coming up as well, and a holiday wish party that you do that really generates a lot of the revenue that you utilize in your programming throughout the year. Tell me a little bit about the golf tournament.
So our golf tournament is on October 5th this year. It's the first Monday in October every year. And we are at Rolling Hills Country Club, and it's a fun day. It might look a little bit different this year. We don't know. We usually like to do a shotgun start where we can kind of gather everybody together and, tell the turning point story and that type of thing. We may not be able to do that. We'll probably do tea times and one person to a cart, but like I said, we're adapting. And that really is just a fun way to get people together for a day of golf, but also really spread the message about Turning Point and the important work we do. And then the Holiday Wish is on November 20th, and that is our biggest fundraiser of the year. And that is our chance to truly tell the Turning Point story, get, personal insight from a survivor of abuse and violence in our community, and let them, tell it from their perspective and how it impacts them. And I think it's also a great way to get people to know, to really put a face and a soul to abuse and violence, and that it impacts people in such a dramatic way. And so we actually do, this year, we're going to do 3 Holiday Wish events. We're going to do a breakfast at Longview Country Club, and then we will do a lunch at the Bottle Factory in Monroe. And then we're also going to do a third one that's a virtual event. And so what we're going to do is we're going to invite people to, if they choose, to host a little watch party in their house at 7 o'clock that night on Friday, November 20th. And we're going to have pretty much the same structure and the same event, but it allows people who maybe don't feel like they want to gather, or if our limit, if the restrictions on the size of the crowd that we're allowed to have at both of our venues is, certainly not big enough. We hope it's not. We hope we're busting at the seams, because that's always good. But it allows people to do, to have that event virtually and support us in that way.
It really sounds like you hit every avenue of revenue stream, from the people who want to remain very safe to the people who want to social distance and get out and do something. I hope that you're very successful in that, and that we can see several more golf groups join your group on October 5th, as well as potentially have groups coming in and hosting virtual parties for you, or getting tables at your event, because they all go to such a good cause. You guys are doing incredible work in our area, and it's something that we need to make sure people are well aware of. And I hope from an education and resource standpoint, people will also take a look to see what they can do to identify in this time to help people seek out your assistance.
Thank you. Yeah, and table captains for the events, the in-person events, are really important. So, reach out to your friends and your neighbors who care about their community. And, people are really anxious to help right now. These are really hard times. And I think people are struggling with trying to figure out, how can I help? Where do I even start? And so attending that event, it's a free event to attend. Just gather your friends and neighbors together and fill a table of 8 and, bring them for a meal and just to hear the Turning Point story. It's really a great way to give back. And I know that people are trying to help. And so it's kind of an easy way to kind of become part of the Turning Point story.
Well, I definitely share this with friends, colleagues, other realtors in our marketplace, as well as neighbors, to make sure that we make the biggest impact possible. When I was thinking about the first place I wanted to think about giving back during the pandemic, it was really, how do I help children who have witnessed or been a part of domestic violence or sexual assault, and what can I do to have them take their mind off of things? And so from a food perspective, and just to get creative, I really pulled with Art Box Ceramics and put together the packages that we did. And that's something that I really want to do, some type of creative and food source every month for Turning Point. And I hope others will really think about ways that they can help in their own way, and really help to see your funds rise for the next year, because I'm sure after being in for the pandemic for so long, and the restrictions we've had on going to school and going out, you're going to see a rise, unfortunately, in those coming forth needing.
Yeah, we're waiting for it for sure. We know it's coming. It started already at the treehouse. We're already seeing it, and here at the shelter. So I think this is just kind of it's the beginning for us, unfortunately. But we're here to help, and we're here to help because of folks like you guys and organizations like REMAX, who know that this is something that impacts. This isn't a they problem. This is a community issue, and it is, it's really incumbent upon us to address it and take care of those who are most in need. And so we simply couldn't do what we do and be in the position we're in to serve those who need us if we didn't have partners like you guys. So we're really very thankful.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity, and we also really see it as an important cause in our area, that we make sure that we all have our eyes and ears open, and that we educate and learn how to make sure that we're helping everyone be as safe as possible in our community.
Thank you. Thank you so, so much. And thank you to everybody watching. And I hope that there's people who've never even heard of Turning Point out there that kind of learned something today and know that we're a resource there, not just as volunteers and donors, but there's people out there that might need our services. And so we really want them to know that we're here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me
today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, I hope you have a great day, and if there is anything else we can do to assist you, we are always here to listen, and I'm happy to share more news and more information with our community as you share more and come up with new and creative ideas to support Turning Point. Thank you so much for all you guys do, all your entire team.
Thank you so much for your support. We're very, very thankful.
Thank you.